Good morning, good morning, good morning. Why am I on main and not on full cam, damn it? Oh, look at that, it's wrong. Insta cam. Sorry, I gotta fix that. What's going on, guys? Good morning. Good to see 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Monday morning, July 8th. Can you believe it? We're already in July, man. Heat advisory is in effect here in South Florida, and I don't know, man. I think it's like 90 degrees. I don't even know what temperature it is. Give me 1 second. Let me do this main view. Come on. There we go, baby. All right, we don't need to see all of Nord, okay? We don't need that. That's not something that's good. Oh, okay. Well, it is a kind of quiet Monday. So we're just going to ease into this at our 11 o'clock hour. And we're going to say hi to our friend Brink. Brink is actually like the co-star, I think, of our stream. I don't think there's ever a stream that Brink misses. And he's usually the first one here. And when he's not, it just feels weird. Can I just say that? I know. I'm not a big streamer by no means. I mean, we got a good community of viewers, about like 5 to 10. But I don't know who else is watching my content because for some reason my videos get viewed. So, I mean, I'm not in the thousands or anything, but hey, I'm not complaining. It's good. What's up, Brink? How's it going, brother? Good to see you. I should just have you on the mic, man. You should just come on every day on the mic. Be like, everybody, let's talk to Brink. Brinko. Brink 1. I like calling him Brink O better. It's either Brink O or Brink E. Anyways. So interesting story this morning. My, wait, first of all, why are my TVs off in the back? What the hell's going on here? I don't know what's going on with that remote, man. It gets crazy sometimes. Like, I turn the TV on and it takes a while before it actually responds. So I'm like, come on, change the source. I don't want to see news. Yeah. I honestly, I never use that TV. I only use that TV for the computer. That's it. I don't watch TV in this room. Never. And in fact, I think the only thing I really watch is YouTube. I watch YouTube on these machines, and then I'll go watch Netflix with my wife, and that's it. You saying I have no life? No, you're 3 hours earlier, so you get to hang out with us. What's going on, Guino? About time, right? Well, I kind of went to my 11 o'clock hour today. All right, interesting story this morning. Let me just tell you what happened. So, Nord starts his day regularly. I didn't shower this morning, by the way, just let you know. So if there's any fun coming through, it might be me. I don't know. So I haven't showered yet because see, I have to say that. And the reason I have to say that is because when I tell you the story, you're going to be like, oh, wait, you didn't shower? So yeah, so I'm telling you now, I didn't shower this morning. I did brush my teeth though. Okay. We did that. We've done that. That's you got to do that when you're around people. Okay. I think you just got to do that, period. So I get up this morning, haven't made my coffee. I start doing my rounds, doing things I need to get done and doing my stuff, helping my daughter get into her class, doing her test, whatever. So I'm like, doing stuff. And then I decide, all right, it's time to sit down, get the coffee ready, and then probably get stream ready. I was going to start like around 10ish or so. And yeah, my the water wasn't working. Like I turned the faucet on to get the coffee water and there was no water. It was like it was coming out and then it died out and there was no water. And I'm like, what the? And of course, immediately my wife is like, you didn't pay the bill, did you? And I'm like, no, I paid the bill. Did I pay the bill? I paid the bill. Did I pay the bill? And I wasn't sure anymore. And what's funny is because most of my bills are automated and I just review them. And for whatever reason, the water bill is it's one of two bills. In fact, I got to pay that other one. I just remembered. It's one of two bills that is not automated that I have to actually manually pay, like literally go to the site and whatever. So I know I paid that bill. So I immediately go and check. I go online and I check, and sure enough, no payment due. I'm like, yep, I knew it. I know. What was I even doubting myself? And so I'm like, so what the hell else is going on? So I'm checking all the faucets and everything, and there's no water coming to the house. I look outside to see if maybe there's a, sprinkler system busting out or something. And no, there's no kids running around in water hoses or anything. So I don't know what the hell's going on. I get on the phone and I'm on a 10-minute wait to figure out what's happening. So I have to wait 10 minutes before I can talk to somebody. And so immediately I start walking around the house and I think about all the different possibilities. Burst pipe, no flooding outside. So I'm okay. I think, did the water tank explode in the garage? Maybe. Let's go check it out. That's fine. Nothing's happening there. There's no water flowing anywhere in the house, so everything's good. So the last thing I think about while I'm still on this 10-minute hold is the water shut off from the outside? And sure enough, I walk outside and check where my shut-off valve is, and guess what? It's in the off position. Yes, someone is doing some fucking shenanigans. That's what's happening. So I have no idea why my freaking shutoff valve was on. So obviously I hung up. My shutoff valve to the house, because you have a valve at somewhere in your house. I don't know where everyone's is, but I know where mine is. And you have the shutoff valve, and if you just put it to shut off status, no water comes into the house. And you do that because when you do any plumbing or anything, you want to shut the water off that's coming to the house so there's no continued leakage and so forth. Okay, that sounded gross. So that's what happened. So somebody came over and shut it off, like did the shut off valve at my house sometime last night or this morning. So what the fuck? Now my wife took a shower, so she says it was fine when I took a shower because we have a tank. We have this huge tank, and obviously she used all the water in the tank. Man, that's a big shower. And so there was no water after that. So anyhow, I am not sure how that happened, and there's only one thought that I can muster with this. I have a sprinkler system, and one of the sprinklers last week or so, maybe a week or two ago, it broke. Somebody broke it. So it was a cracked pipe, and it was just sitting open. So I went ahead and I capped it. I thought I did. And maybe what happened was that it unsealed somehow, and it was pouring water out whenever the sprinklers are on. And maybe one of these pain in the ass old people that are doing their early morning jog decided to be a Karen and saw the water pouring out, and maybe they thought, oh, how dare they? We need to conserve water. And then they probably went to the side of my house and shut it off. But here's the thing, stupid person running or jogging in the morning, old person that has nothing better to do in their life than being out there at 6 a.m. jogging. That shutoff valve doesn't shut off the sprinkler system. Okay? It's a whole separate unit. So you just basically freaking pranked me or trolled me by shutting off the freaking water to my house, not the sprinkler system, which was the issue. Fucking Karens. I'm telling you, man. So anyways, my gardener was here this morning. Obviously on Monday, the gardeners are here. So he went ahead and I had him fix the sprinkler system. So it's capped. Everything's fine. I am conserving water. I didn't know it was still broken. It's taken care of. Sorry, water people, don't come after me. But yeah, that was what was going on. But can you believe somebody actually walked up to my house and pulled the shutoff valve on my water? That's nuts. And there's no utility workers in the area. Nope, there's not. Morning, Nemo. Good to see you. Our friend Nemo is also our friend Fat Cat Foo, which is also known as back in the day. Wow, Torin. Good to see you, brother. Good morning. Karen's. Yeah. Freaking A. Anyway, so that was the beauty of my morning. That's what's happening. Obviously, we got a lot of news to cover today, but we will get to some of it. We'll get to some of the news. Let's have a little. Listen, we're gonna have a little cozy chat today. Wow, Torin, you remember that? Damn, I know. You should go back to that. I don't know why you're not Wow, Torin. Well, I guess it's because you used to play a lot of WoW. You played a lot of Hearthstone for sure. That was the back in the day, man. So long ago. My state has more water than we ever use. Need some? Yeah, right. I could use some. What's weird is that Florida has 2 aquifers, right? I think underneath Florida we have 2 aquifers, and so we have a lot of water. I don't think we have a water shortage here, but I mean, obviously, we conserve water. We need to, obviously. I don't want the environmentalists coming after me. I have enough people that don't like me already. That's okay. By the way, I installed Hearthstone again. Nice. I think I have it installed somewhere. I'm pretty sure I do. Oh, I almost didn't stream today. I almost said, screw these guys. I'm not going on. I almost said that. Actually, maybe I said that, but there's so many things I got to get done today, man. I'm really, I told you last, when was it? Saturday was our last stream. I told you Saturday that I was working on, I'm really excited working on getting this printing freaking work going. And so I've been actually working on getting all the equipment. Well, I have the equipment, but getting like the mailers and stuff like that. And now I have to work on the artwork and put it together, the quote unquote artwork, and put it all together. Then I actually found my cameras, which I'm really excited about because I had my cameras, but I completely forgot where they were. And I'm so excited. I found my old Nikon. I have a Nikon D200. Yes, that's old. And it still works, and it's still a good freaking camera. I'll show it to you in a moment. And then obviously I have my 2 Sony A6000s. I have 2 of them that used to be my stream cameras, but I don't use them anymore. Now I use this little Insta 360 link thing. And so, yeah, I have all these cameras and I have all these lenses, and I was thinking, not all these lenses, I have a couple of lenses. And I was thinking, I need to get back into photography. So I'm really excited about doing that. Anyhow, so I took a picture of, I think I sent it to Brink. Did I send you that picture? I did, right? I sent her a picture of my organization here. Let's see if I can show this to you. There we go. So there's the, let me just open it in browser. It's probably a lot easier that way. Open in browser. Open browser. What the hell is that? Okay. So there we go. So let me just bring this up on the screen here. Here's my Streamlabs. All right. YouTube, close up, show and tell. Okay. So this is what I was working on. This actual bookshelf, I've had this, this has been in my room for forever, but it's been overburdened with a bunch of other crap. In fact, it had a bunch of these, and they were just filled with junk. Yeah, so I had like, I don't know, how many fit in there? I think it was 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I had 10 of those freaking boxes, those canvas boxes, and they were filled with like electronics, cables, freaking mail, old stuff that I need to file. Every time I needed to file something and filing it, that was my filing cabinet. Down at the bottom, I just dump it into one of those. And I just that's where everything was. And so it was a mess. So I decided, since I was ordering all this stuff for mailers, I said, I'm going to take all this crap out of here, go through it, throw out what I don't need, and go ahead and put this is where all the mailers are going to be. So I have the 5x7 flats, the 4x6 flats, the 8x10 flats, and then I have the the ones that come with mats. So I have obviously it goes 5x7, 8x10, and then 11x14, which is still waiting. And a bubble wrap. There's my paper down at the bottom, and at the very top are my cameras, which you don't see. So the red thing at the bottom is all the cables that I got rid of. So I got organized. So I'm like really excited to get started. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about it, even though I know you don't care, but it's okay. I'm going to make you care. Anyway, so that was that. Let me just close that out. We'll come to the news in a moment. It's like really warm in my room today. Gotta have my fan on me. I have an old Canon 35mm SLR, which is still my pride and joy, but I bought it in my 30s. Wow. What's up going on, Joey? Joey from Georgia. That's what every time I see GA, Georgia. What's going on, Joey? Good to see you. By the way, Colombia, best Panama. Oh, sorry. I am not following any soccer, but I'm guessing Colombia beat Panama yesterday. I read best. My eyesight is so bad. 5-0. Way to go to Colombia. Go Colombia. There's a Spanish place, a Spanish restaurant called Sabor Latino. It's basically Latin taste. Just reverse it. And they redid their whole restaurant. It's bigger now. They did a great job. It looks amazing. But one of their key highlights that they added, first of all, they have music on Saturdays so you can go and dance at night. Like it becomes a dance club. So Nord goes over and shakes his booty there. But they also have this huge TV, and it's a whole wall of a TV. I'm thinking it's like 150 freaking size or something. I don't know how big. It's huge. And it's not a projection. It's actually a freaking screen. And they show all the sport. Like anytime there's a like a soccer game, everybody goes there to watch it. And it's on the big giant screen. So it's really cool. They did a good job. They have a great bar there. I don't drink, but they have a great bar if you're into that. Yeah, I have a Nikon D200, like I said, and I have a Sony A6000. And both of those cameras, even though the A6000, how old is that thing? It's like 10 years old. And the Nikon, damn, the D200 is from, ooh, that is almost 20, is it 20 years? I don't know, it feels like a long time, maybe 18? I've had that forever. It's huge. So I'm going to start taking pictures again. I'm really excited. And so I was going to spend the day actually getting everything ready because pricing is really an issue. In fact, let me ask you this, Nemo. Well, you're as Nemo Art, so this is perfect. By the way, if you don't follow Nemo Art, you should be following him. He does a lot of great art, including that little icon that he has that you see, the little dwarf guy is called Stumpy. That's hanging on my wall right now. I have the original right there. And I have the original pencil drawing too, which, by the way, I'm putting into a sleeve and locking away because when Nemo Art passes away, sorry, bro, I'm already calling your death. It's going to be worth tons of money. I'm just saying. It's going to be worth tons. So I'm saving that thing. Yeah, you forgot I had that, bro. It's right there. Now, there's only one thing I want to do, though, and I'm going to have to ask your permission if I can do this. Okay. So I don't want to put it in frame because this is it. Look at that. Look at this beautiful. You know how many times I've showcased this? If I had a dime for every time I'd showcase this, I'd probably have a couple of dollars. Anyways, this is great. He did an amazing job on this and I loved it. And I bought the pencil drawing also. But there's one thing that I want to do because I don't want to frame it. And the reason I don't want to frame it is because when you frame something, let me see, which way do I go? This way? Okay. When you frame something, the little bit of the frame covers over the canvas. And I always worry that it's going to mess it up. That it's going to like, you know, kind of like damage the stuff. So I'm very worried about that. Like, I don't want the wood touching it. So I'd rather not frame it. And by the way, I think I want to put like a veneer on it. Shouldn't I put it can we put a coating on it to make it like, to keep it smooth and to last forever? Did you already cover this? Like cover it with something and coat it with something, did you? You miss him? Yeah, there you go, bro. Now you can see him. So 2 questions. Number 1 is, did you put a varnish or anything on this to protect it? And if you didn't, should I? That's number 1. Number 2 is, because of the fact it does damage it very little. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I don't want to put it in a frame. And because of that, I wanted to know if it's okay, if you're okay with it, because it's your artwork. I want to paint the sides black. Black or brown. Maybe brown, because it'll go with the color here. So I'm thinking I just want to do the outsides and just paint them brown. No, it's straight acrylic. Okay, so I might want to like coat it with something so it lasts. I'll have to find out. There is something you put on that's like a coating to protect it. But either way, so I wanted, because if I do it like a dark color, then I can hang it as fine, because right now white just doesn't work for me. So, but it's hanging right over me. It's always in this room. I tried to put it in the living room, but my wife didn't let me. She said no. It is one of my favorite pieces in the whole house. I have some good artwork in this house. And you guys know that we've had this conversation. You've seen some of the stuff. I mean, I don't have a lot, but I have some. And I have to say that's one of my favorite pieces right there. And also, speaking of other pieces, there's a shirt that I bought for my wife from Brink's store, Amazon store, and it says, it's when she turned 50. I bought her this T-shirt, and it says "Welcome 50" or something. No, "Hello 50." That's what it says. And so she was wearing it yesterday. By the way, she loves it. And it's a really nice shirt, and it's like light blue, but it just says, it's just written. It says "Hello 50." Great job, Brink. Thank you. If you do coat it, spray it with an eggshell lacquer and paint the sides black is perfect. I do that, but forgot to paint Stumpy. Oh, yeah, you just didn't want to charge me more. And do you want it back? Because it went up. It's worth like 3 times as much as what I paid for it. So it'll cost you 3 times the amount. I've already appraised it at more value. It's one of a kind. It doesn't exist anymore. Did I know Stumpy is the name of the monkey? I did know that because it has a peg leg. Yeah. It's funny because normally the minute you see it and you say this is called Stumpy, you think that the dwarf has a peg leg, but the dwarf doesn't. It's the actual monkey, skeleton monkey has the peg leg. You guys want to see the original drawing? I have that. Hold on. So now that I have acid-free backings and paper and plastic bags, I'm actually gonna put this in one of those. I still have it in the original freaking thing that you sent me, bro. Yes. I actually made a copy of it, like a photocopy, but just to keep it. But this is the oh wait, hold on. Damn it. There we go. That's the pencil drawing. It's freaking cool. Wait, does he have a... You know what's funny? I never noticed this. Bro, there is... Oh, wait. No. It's there. There's a little bit of a difference. Did you know that? Right here at the... Look at the leg. Hold on. Let's see if I can do this. Look at the leg of the actual monkey. It's missing the peg. It's a bone. Story behind the monkey is undead, and this dwarf is the 5th owner of the Stumpy. Oh, backstory. Oh, little backstory. You're gonna have to tell me the whole story about it, man. I'll have to write it down. I want to keep it with it. That'll be great. Yeah, but I just noticed that because obviously you do this by hand, and there's just that little bit of difference. Very, very small minor differences. But that's one thing I noticed. It doesn't have the peg leg. It has a bone. It has the bone leg, but doesn't have a peg leg. That's interesting. Oh, and here's the other thing. Oh yeah, no. It's got both swords, but you can see the hand on this one. That's interesting. That's pretty cool. I changed his leg last second. You did a good job. Yeah, I've got to put this in. I'm gonna put this in the, like I said, in a bag, acid-free backing, and save it. So when you go to the great beyond, it's gonna be worth millions. Millions. Okay, billions. Millions is enough. I gotta make sure I put that away. Good job, brother. Anyways, I need to work. Catch you later. All right, Guino, have a good time, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great day at work. And this will be here when you come back. We're gonna talk about some news and some stuff that's going on, and how I found. Well, I didn't find it. Super found my Japanese version. He did. We're gonna see all about that. All right. First off, real quick story. I'm not going to read too much about it. I'm just going to read the headline and let you guys decide. Do you remember Starfield recently came out with all these great ideas that they were going to do, and they opened up like for mods and I forgot what the place was called, where you can actually download not only mods but also additional adventures in the game and whatnot. You got to go eat. Go do your thing, man. Well, well, it turns out one of the biggest ones that everybody was looking forward to was that they were planning on doing kind of an Elder Scrolls planet that contained like Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind, all of that stuff. No, kind of that. It was like a whole planet of freaking Quest. That's what they were thinking of doing. Well, it turns out recently that it seems that that has been canceled. No, it wasn't Nexus. No, not Nexus mods. It was Starfield's, whatever. What is there? They have the place where you could, the creator box, whatever it's called, where you can now you can buy and you get some free mods and stuff, and it's directly in Starfield. Well, it turns out that they actually were going to do this mod, and it turns that they're not going to do it anymore. Yeah, they canceled it out. Here it is right here. Creation Kit, thank you. So I think that's what it's called, Creation Kit, Creation Mod. So Starfield project canceled just a week after it was announced, devastating fans. Very sad, because they really, people were looking forward to this. I don't think it's this one. It's not the Shattered. No, it's not the Shattered Space. So calm down. The DLC is still coming. But what it is there was a mod project that they were going to do where this one planet was going to have a bunch of quests and everything. You can basically stay on it. And they said no. Yeah, I think Bethesda basically said no, probably. They didn't give a lot of reason as to, and I'm not going to go through this whole article, but the idea basically was that no, they're not going to do that. And maybe it's something that they're going to do later on, and that's probably why they didn't want to do it. Yeah, sad, but I got to be honest, I uninstalled it again already. I played for a little bit. I didn't really feel like there was a lot of change. It wasn't like I was excited. I ran around, I did some fighting. I went NG1 and everything, and I still couldn't get into it. I just lost interest, I think. So I moved on. So sorry to hear that. I was hoping Starfield was going to, who knows, maybe in about maybe with the expansion it's going to be completely different. We'll see what happens. Let's see. We're going to look at a couple of news articles. We're going to skip over the political stuff because just going to say somebody in Georgia won the Powerball last night, became a millionaire. It says anonymous Walmart shopper becomes instant millionaire. How about that? Damn it. Can you imagine shopping at Walmart and you just buy a freaking lottery ticket just for the hell of it? And you become an instant multi-millionaire? That's freaking crazy. Take a look at Nora, South Florida's upcoming destination. No, I don't want to see that. There was a story here. Oh, here it is. This is the one. Oh, you're gonna love me for this. So about a month or so back, I can't remember. A while back, we did a stream and we talked about this new, I don't know when it was a couple of months. we talked about this new law or that was passed by Ron DeSantis in Florida, which I always called him DeSatan, but for whatever reasons. But anyways, Ron DeSantis here in Florida passed a law a couple of months ago where he was now allowing, and I think we had a little conversation about this, where he was allowing a chaplain of the Catholic faith to be allowed in public schools as kind of like a counselor or a guide if students wanted to go and meet with the chaplain and have some spiritual guidance. And the only way that this was going to work is if the students were given permission by their parents. And that's the way it was going to work out. Now, when this happened, I immediately I said this, and I thought about it. I had a conversation with my wife about this. I said, wait, this is opening the door to say, well, wait a minute. If you're going to have a chaplain there, you're going to have all the other faiths or beliefs. And what's going to happen is that people are going to come out of the woodwork and say, well, my religion is not being represented at the public schools. It needs to be. And so here's what I started thinking about. And sure enough, there's an article here that says Satanists to volunteer in Florida schools in protest at the DeSantis religious bill. I was reading headlines first, and we'll read a little bit about it. The Satanic Temple thanks Ron DeSantis for Florida school chaplain's law. What's going on, Troy? Good to see you, man. So this is crazy. Now, here it's saying is, will Dade and Broward implement Florida school chaplain program? I'm not sure. Let me read The Guardian first, and then we'll go into the other one. So here it is here. No privacy. Satanist volunteers in Florida schools to protest the DeSantis religious bill, which we just talked about. The temple objects to governor's push for more religion in school and says members could act as student chaplains. Yeah, well, again, you have to have a parental permission before the kids can actually go speak to any one of these chaplains in the school. But regardless, I knew this was going to open up a can of worms. Dark messengers of Satanism could soon be walking the hallways of Florida's public schools and its consequences of hard-right Governor Ron DeSantis' push for more religion and education. Now, before I continue reading this, let me just say, I'm not against any religion or for any other religion than my own. I'm just, I am a Christian. That's my belief, but that does not mean that's what I'm pushing on anybody, nor am I saying that any other religion is not welcome. So that is not the reason why I'm bringing this up, but I am bringing this up in the view of, or the context of, this was a very stupid bill to pass because, number one, it has always been separation of church and state, and that includes school. Unfortunately, you cannot put church in school unless it's a private school and they decide what religion they want to share there, because of the fact that if you're opening it up to public forum, you're going to have to accommodate for all the other religions. You cannot see, no, it's going to be only this one. You can't do that. It's not right. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm like, yeah, we have to have Satanists in there. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying that, and things, that's to each their own if that's what they want to believe. But what I am saying is this was a huge problem that I don't know why he thought of doing this. Not commenting, not touching religion and politics. Nope. Yep. I'm being very careful with this. But the bottom line is this. It leaves the implementation of chaplain programs to individual school districts and only requires schools to list a volunteer's religion, if any. DeSantis has made it clear its intent is to restore the tenets of Christianity to public education. And I think that's where the issue is right there. And again, I am a Christian, so it's not like I don't agree with Christianity or being introduced to young people. Hold on a second. Come here. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Yes. In that box right there. No, left. All the way over there. That back box. Sorry about that. So it's not that I'm, I am the Christian faith. So yes, more power to people coming to Christ. I love that. But at the same time, I'm not pushing it. And I think doing this and saying this should be in public school and only this, that's a problem. And that's what's going to cause a lot of issues. And this is why we have and need separation of church and state. Damn it, I commented. Yep, there you go. And that's the thing. It has to separate because this is going to cause more frustration and more problems in school. Not because it's Christianity, but because you are now saying it's only this religion, not the others. It's just going to cause more division. And the last thing that we need in schools where our kids are going to try to get an education is more division, more problems, more social issues. We need to stop doing that. Okay, this is the whole reason I brought it. I'm not going to read the whole article because obviously it's not about reading the article. It's more along the lines of having this conversation. But we need to stop doing stuff like that because it's messing our kids up, man. All this fighting. I mean, think about this. It's going to be in elementary, middle school, and high school. And while the high schoolers, I would think that most of them would have the brain capacity to understand and understand what's going on and be able to deal with it. When you think about middle schoolers, they don't give a shit. They don't know what the hell they're doing. And then when you think about elementaries, they're so much more like easily impressioned. And so we don't need this kind of freaking fighting going on in schools. Schools are already divided with all this stuff. Yes, exactly. And that's what I mean. So therefore, adding this other layer to it is just bad. And this is exactly what I thought was going to happen. And sure enough, it won't be the last time we hear about it. It won't be. It definitely will continue. So keep an eye on that. And, you have kids in schools, just talk to them, prepare them, make sure they understand what's going on. And it's important that they're aware of it. Always a good thing. Let's see. I'm just moving. Wait. Oh, FSU has a new logo? Well, that's crazy. I didn't know that. Why are they doing a new logo? That's very odd. I once fought a ticket by stating separation of church and state to the judge. He laughed and reduced my fine. Nice. That's an interesting story. Wonder how did you do that? Troy says this was clearly implemented to divide civilization. Someone planned this. Absolutely. It's again the them and us thing. It's just, oh, you're only allowed this religion. And again, it's and they're talking about my religion, which I hate when they do that, because then at the same it's like it causes me more frustration because people are like, oh, why do you think yours is so much better? I don't. It's just it works for me and my family. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, then you follow what you follow. You don't have to believe what I believe. Didn't they kick religion out of public school? They did. What's up, Ball Striker? Good to see you, man. They did. I know who Ball Striker is. They totally kicked that out a long time ago. So bringing it back in Florida is just a bad deal. Sorry, I'm just looking at this real quick. So FSU changed their actual logo. What was their logo before? FSU's including the Seminole Head. Oh, I wonder if it has anything to do with. Let me read this real quick. Florida State website, social media pages, and all buses are all decked out with new logo, following a recent and subtle rebranding. Moving forward, a logo of simplicity that boldly displays the letters FSU in gold with garnet outlining takes the forefront of the university's brand as the new academic mark. Most notable is a markedly reduced emphasis on the Seminole Head logo. I bet you it has something to do with that. I bet you anything it has something to do with that. By the way, let's close this crap over here. Which the school has called one of the most recognizable and iconic marks in sports. By the way, you can't see it, but there it is right there. Yeah, I have that. That logo's on my wallet. Shut up. Nice. Ball Striker. Okay, Ball Striker. I know what your page is about. Just kidding. It's golf. While the university's marketing team has been working on the rebranding for over a year, the new logo was made official Monday and announced to FSU employees via email as part of the internal branch launch. Previously, FSU was one of the only public universities in the country without three identifying marks. What? FSU chief marketing said in a prepared statement to sent She spearheaded, I love the way they use that word there. She spearheaded the rebranding effort along with the FSU's director. Okay. Let's see. What are they saying? Oh, that's her. Chief Marketing Officer. Susanna Wesley Achlehwidi. I can't read her last name. I'm sorry. I'm trying to see what they say anything. Universities use a university seal. Oh, this is why. Okay, so this was this. I kind of understand this. So most universities use a university seal, which is really strange that FSU didn't have this. But for some reason, FSU's never had a university seal. Their primary institution identified, which is text and primary athletic mark. For many years, FSU only had two marks: the seal and the athletic mark. Oh no! Wait a second. No, they did have that. What the hell are they talking about? These people are confusing me now. Okay, this is too confusing. I think they're going away from the idea of using the Seminole head. I think that's what it's about, and they're lying and covering it up by saying it's something else. So like, no, it's not because of the Seminole head, but they're just now going with just the letters, which I think is kind of lame. Does that mean I have to buy all new freaking shirts and everything for? Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't like it. I know I got two graphics people in the room right now. Do you guys like this new logo? What do you think of it? I think it's kind of crappy. In high school, I got a ticket for smoking on school grounds, $500 fine. I told the judge it was behind a seminary building, which by law can't be part of the school grounds. So he gave me. That is a really good argument. That is really good. Yeah, Troy, their civilization is divided. We got to work at trying to help people understand that it's being divided on purpose. And so just like, it's always, listen, people are always going to do it, whether it's political or whether normal people, they're always going to try to divide you and put you on their side, whatever their side actually is. Just remember that is the human nature, and just go against it and be like, no, I refuse to pick a side. I want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. I followed up on all my accounts. Yeah, is that what you're doing? College logos are pretty crappy. I don't know, but this is the lettering. Just the font itself, I think it's bad. I do not like this at all. Well, who am I, right? They didn't check with me. Damn it. Oh, well. That's it. I'm not going to that school. I'm just kidding. Emission vending machines appear in grocery. What? Wait, what is this? I love, I love when I go on stream and I haven't looked at the news yet, and I'm seeing all these new articles that I'm just like, are you kidding me? What the hell is this about? Check this out. Ammunition vending machines appear in U.S. grocery stores amid increasing gun violence. There's low limitation on the quantity of ammunition customers can purchase, and the vending machines would be restocked every 2 to 4 weeks. You know what's going to happen with this, though? There's going to be people that are going to empty this thing out. That's what's going to happen. They're going to go in there, and there is a low limit as to how much they can purchase. They're going to empty this place out. What's going on, Raymond? Good to see you, brother. Welcome. All the way from freaking Amsterdam, right? I think it's Amsterdam. Let's see here. Look at it. Look at this. Oh. And by the way, no, I don't even want to say it. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not going to put it in anybody's mind. A vending machine selling bullets in the U.S. It's in a grocery store. Okay. Show full article. Here we go. Amid increasing gun violences in the United States, some grocery stores around the country now have vending machines that are stocked with ammunition. Vending machines. That can't be real? I don't know. Maybe, do you think this is a joke? A company has installed automated kiosks in grocery stores, allowing gun owners in 3 U.S. states to purchase rounds from these devices, as per a report in the Telegraph. Let's see. Yeah, I'll look at that one in a moment. In certain stores in Texas, Oklahoma, and Alabama, people can now obtain ammunition for their firearms by just scanning their ID on the machine that resembles a drink vending machine. The machine's manufacturer, American Rounds, claims that operating them is just like using an ATM. Our automated ammo dispensers are accessible 24/7, ensuring that you can buy ammunition on your own schedule, free from the constraints of store hours and long lines, the company said. Oh, like there's not going to be a line at this freaking vending machine? Make guns like cheesecake. Nord really trying hard to trigger me politically today. I am. I'm pushing you, man. I'm pushing the right buttons. New PC, all current, new politically correct, all current tech excerpts for the graphics cards. Wait, what are you talking about? We're talking about guns and ammo. All current tech except for the graphic card. What? Oh, you got a new PC. Nice, bro. Congratulations. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm thinking political, and so I thought politically correct. What? Congratulations, man. I'm glad you got one. Except for the graphics card? Nope, you got to get that. It's not a new PC unless it has a new graphics card. Come on. That's like saying I have a Porsche, but I have a Volkswagen engine. Okay? It's not the same. Come on now. I like it. My wife and I are about to stock up with the vending machines. Nice. These vending machines, according to the firm, contain built-in AI technology. Built AI technology, card scanning capability, and facial recognition software. You know what? Right here, man. This is another way of just getting your face in the freaking system. You know that there is some... Do you know there's government involvement there somewhere? Right there, baby. This explains it all. Built-in AI technology, card scanning capability, and facial recognition software. Your face is being recorded and being put into a database that is actually tied into someone that has purchased ammo, therefore has guns. Oh yeah. And you are now going into the facial recognition software as part of their freaking learning. Yes. Technically, it's the same Nord. Porsche is owned by VW Group. Yes, it is. Just like it would be still an NVIDIA card. But what I'm saying is a Volkswagen engine compared to a Porsche engine, even though it's made by the same company per se, because I remember back in the day, I had a VW. But anyways, yes, that is correct. But what I'm saying is one is a lot lesser and older. So you can't call it a Porsche because it still has a Volkswagen engine. Get it? That's what I'm saying. Should I change it? Should I say, okay, you can't get a Yugo engine and put it into a Porsche and say it's a Porsche. That's all I'm saying. All right, whatever. You know what I mean. I'm picking on Raymond. I got the graphics card about 6 months ago. Well then it's a new one. Yeah, don't say it's not new. Except for the graphics card. No, that's current. 6 months is still current. What is it? Is it a 4000 series? If it's 3000 series, then yeah, it's not current. But if it's a 4000, you're fine. What do you have? What's a graphic card? Which one is it? As long as my photo goes into the damn He's Handsome database, I'm good with that. It's already in there, big guy. It's already in. Calm down. The only guns I got are my arms. Nice. Nice. Those need a little polishing, my friend. They need a little polishing. Better yet, FEMA is authorized to confiscate anything you have stockpiled in an emergency. Wait, FEMA? Holy shit. That's crazy. There was talk in the old days, there was rumors about, in the olden days, of the post office hoarding 22 ammo. 22 caliber ammo. I don't know if that was real or not. There was a rumor way back in the day. Anyways, I definitely think this is something to do with getting your face on the freaking database. According to the software can confirm the buyer's identity and ascertain if the machine matches the identity scans. Customers use a touchscreen. By the way, we do know that even in this day and age, facial recognition is not 100%, right? Especially with some ethnicities. It's definitely not. So we do know that, right? And if you don't know, On Netflix, there's actually a documentary called Code Biases. I think it is. It's either Coded Biases or Code Biases. Biases? Is that the correct word? Yeah, just take a bias, I guess. Go ahead and look that up on Netflix. It's actually a pretty good watch. Then the machine scans their ID to retrieve it through a hole in the bottom. According to Newsweek, there are 8 machines installed or in the process of being installed across 4 states. The first machine was installed at Pell City, Alabama, Fresh Value grocery shop. Since then, 4 have been placed at Super C Marts in Oklahoma and 1 in Canyon Lake, Texas at Lowe's Market. Another is being placed at La Green's food stores in Buena Vista, Colorado. And another is scheduled to be installed shortly in a Lowe's Market in Canyon Lake. That is crazy. Yeah, but they don't have the restrictions that law enforcement have. What if I'm two-faced? Then, yeah, they don't care about the way you treat people, bro. They don't care about the way you treat people. All right. Let's see. We have over 200 store requests, units covering approximately 9 states currently, and that number is growing daily. I do not want to see this in Florida. I do not want to see this in Florida. The company supported law-abiding responsible gun ownership. I don't think it, no, I see so many problems with this. Currently, ammunition is sold off the shelf or online. By the way, does anybody else have a problem with Walmart just selling ammo? I don't think Walmart should be selling ammo. I really don't. I don't understand why you can go to Walmart and actually buy a freaking rifle or shotgun and ammo at Walmart. I just don't understand that. You telling me that they're just hiring a regular any Walmart employee can just go ahead and sell weapons now and make sure that they fill out all the documentation correct? No. I don't understand. I've never understood that. I think freaking firearms need to be sold at one of 2 places. An actual gun shop is basically has the license for it and all of that, or a sporting goods store like Bass, or what's the other one? There's another name. Gander Mountain used to be one, but they're not around anymore. Even maybe Dick's Sporting Goods, they have a section. That's okay. Walmart, no. What's the difference between Walmart and Target? They sell guns. That's basically it. Damn. Okay. Let me read this. Currently, ammunition is sold off the shelf and online. These environments lead to inadvertent sales to underage purchasers and, or in some cases, in the case of retail stores, high theft rate. Yes, and that's the problem with selling it at Walmart. You should not be selling this at Walmart, and you definitely shouldn't be selling this at a supermarket. I don't think this is right. I mean, I like the idea that they're trying to make it more convenient, but it really, does ammo need to be available 24/7? Does ammo really need to be available 24/7 all day long? And does it need to be at a supermarket? Honey, I'm going out to get some milk and bread. Anything else you need? Yeah, can you pick me up some 5.56 while you're there? Yeah, a couple of rounds. That'd be great. Yeah, no. It doesn't. How does that make any sense? Now, yeah, you want to put these vending machines, make it easier for the consumer to buy ammo, then fine. Then put it in a place that already sells freaking ammo, and weapons. A gun shop. Or one of the sporting goods places. That would be different. It's just crazy. It doesn't make any sense for me. What we loved about this concept is the units use state-of-the-art ID scanners. There it is again. I mean, if anybody is reading this, they should be picking up on that. Combined with facial recognition before transactions can be made, he added. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is what it is right there. There's no limitation on the quantity of ammunition customers can purchase, and the vending machines would be restocked every 2 to 4 weeks. Those things are going to be empty within the first couple of days. I would say within 24 hours or 48 hours, they will be completely empty. That's what's going to happen. Somebody prove me wrong, because I'm telling you, that's just how it's going to work out. However, a machine in Alabama was recently removed after its legality was debated. Yeah, because there's some issues there. Good job, Alabama. Here it is. They said that initially thought the machines were a joke after he received a call about them, and then stated that when he first started receiving calls regarding the machines, he assumed they were pranks. I got some calls about the ammunition being sold in grocery stores and vending machines. I thought it was a lie. I thought it was a joke, just like Brink did, but it's not. The machines are authorized by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, by the ATF. Discussing the same, American Rounds made the business decision to relocate the Fresh Value automated ammo retail machine located in their current store in Tuscaloosa to another store location. This was certainly a business decision based on the sales at that specific store. Is that it? That is nuts. All right. I can't. I know. It sounds really weird. It is true, though. Let me find this. So triggered and not into this. Wake me up when it's over. All right. I'm not going to keep on. I just wanted to see if somebody said machines are legal in school. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. The fuck is that? Okay. I guess Victoria's Secret's panty sale is going on. I just got an email. You know, before you start making jokes, let me just say, my kids and my wife always use my freaking email, because my email is basically the spam email. Not my regular nordwolf.live email, but all my regular email that I've had for years, if not decades, has always been used every time we go shopping somewhere. They always give my email. So I have every freaking store that they've ever shopped in sending me coupons and stuff like that. Yes. And Victoria's Secret happens to be one of them. That's it. I'm just letting you know. Because I know someone's going to make a joke about that. Anyways. All right. Moving on. All right, Brink. I won't. I'll try not to trigger you anymore. I'm gonna try. Let's see if I can find another political stuff. No, I'm kidding. No more political. Hollywood Giant Paramount agrees. I don't care about that. There is something. Oh, I know what I want to watch. Hold on, I'm just looking through this. Okay, we're not gonna talk about Biden. Everything else seems to be, I don't know why. I'm getting a lot more political stuff, and it's not like I'm clicking on it. NASA. Britney Spears. She's single and vows to never be with another man as long as she lives. Hey guys, you lost your chance. Yeah, all right, that's it. So we're not going to go over more serious news. Now it's time for stupid news. No, I'm just kidding. We got something in the content here that we were going to talk about. So Super woke me up this morning. Thank you, Super. He woke me up this morning with this. I want to get it ready here. Hold on. With this. There we go. He sent me this. And it's basically. Let me bring it up on the big screen. It's basically a Japanese guy named Shohei Kondo. And he does a lot of, I checked his what his main videos are about. And most of his videos are about horror games. And so you go through and there's a lot of horror games videos. I look at his videos. He's got about 4.3 thousand subscribers. He has about 200 videos. I guess he just put a recent one up just 9 minutes ago. The truth about Yasuka and DE marketing. Okay, so this is something he's been talking about. Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed Shadows, and he says we are mad. Japanese speaks up racism in the shadows. Okay, I don't want to watch too much of this, but the reason why Super sent this to me, all this stuff's horror, by the way, these are all horror films, is that he said this is the Japanese Nord version. This is Super sending this to me, and he says this guy is literally me, but just Japanese. Side note, what happened to Tolerith? He's working. He's been working. I saw him. He stopped by a couple of times on Twitch. He doesn't come to YouTube, and he's in the Discord sometimes. So yeah. So this is basically me supposedly, and I watched this, and I'm not gonna watch. If you want to watch this, I'll leave this. The link is in the Discord, but it's "We Are Mad. Japanese People Speak Up Racism in the Shadows." And just to give you kind of a heads up of what it's actually about, I want you to see this guy because he's ranting the way I rant. I'll put this part right here.
That's a samurai. So Yasuke, when Nobunaga was defeated, Yasuke didn't do harakiri or seppuku. Yasuke escaped. So Cory, Yasuke is really disrespecting other samurai at that time who
disrespecting other samurais
commit harakiri,
Okay, so I can see the resemblance, and I can see what what Super was, because this guy, his rant in this whole thing is really good actually, and he does pinpoint a couple of good things. What he is saying here in this particular part, which I found really interesting, was that they talk about Yasuka and how he was a samurai, or how he is a samurai, and he was never a samurai. And I guess something that happened, and it was based on the historical part, that if he was truly a samurai, based on whatever history thing that actually occurred, which I'm not very familiar with it, but one of the things that he had to do based on an event that happened was he had to commit seppuku, which is basically when you ceremonially basically gut yourself. And that's what the samurais did, and a lot of the samurais do that. And the fact that he didn't do that, he just left the country or whatever, he says in this video that it was a disrespect to all samurais that he would not do that. So anyways, there's a lot of points that he makes, but they're all about how he just feels that there is a lot of racism in how they're doing this new Assassin's Creed. I'll let you watch and make your own reaction. I didn't watch it for the content. I watched it to watch the guy because he totally reminds me of me. He totally picked out a lot of things in the news pieces and talked about them and read them and translated. And it's actually a pretty good video if you're into finding this out and getting the kind of the look from a Japanese person, how they feel about this game. So I think it's pretty good. I don't see the resemblance, bro. It's right there. Look at that. Look at us. We look like brothers. We're brothers. Either way, I thought it was interesting. Super sent this to me, but again, it's on my he always wears a black shirt. Almost always wears a black shirt, just like me. I guess it's a Nord version, brother. Good to see. All right. Anyways, it was that. Super smoking crack. He's totally me. Come on. Hey, by the way, my beard is getting as gray as yours, man. Have you noticed that? Look at this. Look how you can barely see it. That's how gray it is. This is only a week. I go 2 weeks and then I'm like shaving. I think I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna see what happens. I have to clean it up though. It's a little messy. What else did I have? Show and tell. Okay, I want to talk about this. I don't have a video for this, but I just have a question. I don't see it either, and I watched the whole video this morning. What are you saying? I'm not as good looking as he is? Damn it. I am getting gray. I'm definitely a lot more gray. I saw some old pictures of me when I had a beard a little bit more out, and it was still black. Now it's definitely gray. I'm getting there, brothers. Pretty soon I'll take my hat off and I'll be all gray. That would be pretty cool though. All right, I had a question. Since I have a couple of artists in the room, so I'm going to ask you guys these questions. So one of the things that I've been trying to figure out with when you sell your art, whether it's photography, photographs because you're a photographer, whether it's a painting because it's a, canvas and you're printing them out because you're making multiple copies of it, or if you're a digital artist and you're making art on Photoshop or whatever, regardless of what that art is, when you go to sell it, how do you come up with what you're selling the actual art for? Like let's say you have an 8x10 piece or whatever, standard size. You make a painting. Yeah, this is what, 11x14, whatever that is. So what do you do? Forget the whole, well, you go through the cost of what it costs. Okay, forget that for a moment. How do you put a price on your actual item? Like, how do you come up with that? I'm just curious. Because I've been watching different YouTube videos and different artists and different photographers and whatnot, and how they price their things, and it's very different. So I'm curious to see what you guys do. Silver Wolf. Thank you very much. There is something called Silver Fox. I saw it yesterday. Was it food? I can't remember. And this is something I've been tossing around in my brain, trying to understand how does that all work out. Like, you can come up with the cost of what something costs as far as the supplies, the printing, the printer or the paper, the ink, the mailer, the freaking matting, whatever. You come up with all of that. And then that's that cost. Cost and shipping is separate. But then you have to put the value of the actual work itself. And that's the part. Like, how do you figure that out? Like, do you say, if you were an established artist and you'd be like, yeah, my stuff is worth hundreds of dollars. So every time you make something, you're like, yeah, this is a $500 piece or whatever. How does somebody, like, if you're starting out, where do you set yourself? Because here's the thing. This is what I learned. If you put yourself too low, you have to think of what your audience is or where you're going to be selling. What's your target audience? If you decide I'm going to sell it at a local, the weekends, what are the arts and crafts shop, like a green market or whatever, they're going to put I'm going to put a vending table up, a little tent, and I'm going to sell my prints there. Let's say you're going to do that. If you're doing that there, you're not going to be selling them for like 50, 100, 200, 300, 500, whatever. They're not selling them for a lot because of that exact location really is for bargain shopping. So you're going to be selling prints for like $5 or $10, 3 for 20. You can say 3 for 20, 3 for 15, whatever. I'm throwing numbers out for fun. So that's a whole different environment than actually selling them, let's say, on a website or at a different place where you're going to actually charge more money. And I think that's how it changes. The way I price my art, okay, hold on. Original paintings and prints I price very different. And yes, everyone does it differently. It's amazing. I don't know. I guess there's not a wrong way. There's a it depends answer. I think that's what it is. Because like I said, if I was going to sell it in a green market or an arts and craft place where people are just going by and looking for bargains and they're not going to be spending hundreds of dollars on something as they're walking by on a Sunday, I would think that they'd be more inclined to buying it at like $10 to $20 at most and wanting a bargain if they buy two. That's the clientele that I would see there. But the problem when you do that is that if you set your price so low on your stuff, then it's almost like you're just trying to make a sale and not really valuing your stuff. And if you're saying that you're selling your prints for like $10 or $5, bargain basement numbers, then it's almost like all you want to do is just get a sale. You don't even care about the fact that you're like really trying to establish yourself as an art business or something. And I think that's one of the questions that comes into mind. The way I price my art wouldn't apply to your work because part of it was how long it took me to create. Exactly. Like if it took 200 hours for 4 hours to make, wait, like if it took 200 hours or 4 hours. Yes. Sorry, I read that wrong. Yes, absolutely. And that's the other thing. Like, for example, some photographers charge for, like, let's say that they go out to a specific place, wait all day, you know, to get this shot, maybe take a couple of days to get the right shot at the right lighting, the right time of day. Then they go home and they fix it, they clean it up, or maybe they have to go back and take the shot again. And then they edit it, clean it up, set the lighting, whatever. All of that takes time. So they're obviously going to incorporate all that time into the price of the actual piece itself. Then there's also the commissioned work. Like if somebody gets commissioned, what the hell? To actually take a photo of an area and they want a beautiful photo of this city, then they're going to pay for your time and your service. So therefore you come up with this big price of what it would take for all that. Yes, that makes sense. Troy's tired. Can't take it any longer. Gonna nap. You playing today, Leonard? I'm not sure. I got so much work and that's why my mind is spinning. I may not. I'll probably play tomorrow. But thanks for hanging out, man. I'm keeping it light today. It's Monday. It's so hard to friggin' try to think of gaming right now. So I get that whole thing that if it takes you 200 hours or 4 hours to make, you're going to come up with a number of what you think you're worth hourly, right? Some people says like I'm worth $25 an hour. Other people say I'm worth $100 an hour, $125 or whatever. And so their prices change based on that. But I would have to think that, okay, once you do that, let's say once you actually come up with this price. So let's say you do a piece that takes you 4 hours to make. I'm just going to use your example. If it takes you 4 hours to make, and then you charge for those 4 hours, let's say you bill yourself at $100 an hour. I'm just spitballing here. And so for 4 hours, that means that's $400. And add in cost, add in other stuff that maybe you had to pay for in order to get that shot, to get that work done. So let's say it goes up to like $500 now. So now that piece is worth $500 initially. So you sell it. However, if you're making like prints of it, like limited prints, so you're making more than one, do you charge the same for every one? Or do you, the original is this much, and then the other ones obviously are not going to be $400, $500 because they're not the original anymore. Now it's going to be, you know, actual copies of it. The only thing I see with that is if it's a photograph, there's no such thing as an original photograph because they're all photographs. That's what gets weird. I know this is a huge conversation. It's a bigger conversation that I think I can handle right now, but I'm trying to get ideas of how other people handle this because I definitely got a lot of ideas from watching YouTubes. I'll make some coffee actually. Nice, man. Thanks for staying. Depends on the volume of prints too. Are you doing limited runs or will print it forever? I will do limited runs and then like, let's say 25, something like that. Let's just guess. If I do a limited run of 25 and then they will come back at a later time, maybe at the end of the year, maybe 6 months later, maybe a year later, they'll be around again. Like they'll come back into the cycle like, oh, guess who's coming back? You know, and this one that was a limited is available again for a limited amount of time for a limited number. So there will be a total. Okay, so I guess I should rephrase that. There will be a total large limit of it. In other words, let's say there's 100, because let's say the 25 don't sell in the first run, then you still have more to sell. Let's say you only sell 5 or 10. You still have 10 more to sell, so you can bring those back. So maybe the idea is to do like a 50 to 100 so that you can bring it back a few times. Because the whole idea is to have a limited, that you have a limited number and it's only available for a limited time. And it will eventually come back maybe a year later. So if you don't get it now, you'll get it. You have to wait for a year and then you'll get it then if there's still any available out of the 25 or 50 that you decide. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying sell 50, the 50 sell, and then say, oh, it's coming back, I'm selling another 50, because no, then that would ruin it. It'd have to be a different version. It'd have to be like, oh, it's changed. this is a blue one as opposed to a red one. I don't know. I'm just making shit up right now. I give my artwork away, laugh out loud joke. Yeah, no, you don't. I paid for this one. A limited, relimited, double limited run. Exactly. No, come on. That's not limited if you keep upping the limit. No. I don't mean to up it. So that's what I meant. That's why I had to go back. I'm just saying, whether it's 25, 50, or 100, that's your limited amount that's going to be available for that piece of work. And you're only going to run it for a limited time. In other words, it's not available. It's not going to be available 24/7 until the 100 are sold or the 50 are sold, 25 are sold. They're only going to be available for, like, let's say 60 days, 60 to 90 days. Okay. If they're not, if the full limit, that's, and let's just pick a number, 25. If the full 25 are not sold within that initial run, they will come back a year later for the remaining amount to be sold. That's what I mean. Not an additional 25, only the first initial 25. That's what I meant. Imagine one print limit. Dude, that's called original. You mean like a limited run of 100, but do runs of 25 at a time till they're all gone. Yeah, well, you can do, I mean, you could do that. I think I'd rather say it's if it's 100, I'd rather say it's a limited run of 100. But if the full 100 are not sold, they'll come back because there's still some available. I think that's what I'll do. But I would never do 100. I think I'd probably do 25. Good morning, Drunken. Good to see you, brother. Hope the day is finding you well. It is finding me very well, but it is a Monday, so I'm taking it easy today. Doing a little coffee chat with the buds. I'm talking signed and numbered limited edition, not limited runs. I'm talking limited edition in a limited run. Oh, okay, so let me rephrase that. I'm talking limited edition, signed and numbered, 25 available, but the availability is limited, and it won't be available if there's any remaining. They'll go into the archives, and they will at some point, on a special date when we're bringing back old stuff, will come back to finish off whatever is left for it for another limited amount of time. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean. I don't think, right, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do something different, and I'm blending different media competitors. So let me say that way. So I'm trying to take the ideas of how a painting, how a canvas painting is done, how a photo is done, how digital art is done, and how those are sold differently, and trying to see how I can make a combination of them. I know I'm making it sound a lot more complicated than it is. So it's a hard thing. Limited editions would be like the first 100 Colts made, since they are all numbered and all perts have to have the matching number for it to count. Correct. So for example, like I said, 1 to 25. So you do a 25 limit run. But each piece, whenever a collection is put out, it's going to be only for a limited amount of time available. And hopefully all 25 of them will sell in that limited amount of time. And if they do, great. And they'll all each have a numbered and a certificate of authenticity saying this is a numbered one, registered, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And they would all have that. Now, listen, we're talking fantasy here. We're making this shit up, but I'm trying to work these things out of my head. So that's done. But for whatever reason, only 15, well, now let's say let's give a round number. Only 20 of them sold. I still have 5 left remaining, and that the collection time is over. Let's say it was 2 months, 60 days. So that time period for buying it is over. You didn't get it, you missed out. But I still have 5 remaining. Put that in the archive. So that piece of Fat Cat smoking something, let's say, whatever. Let's just make believe it's a stupid piece. I have 5 of those still signed and numbered. 20. What is it? So 5 of them be like So 21 out of 25, 22 at 25, 23 at 25, 24, 25, 25 at 25. So those 5 are remaining in the archive. And at a later point, a year later or something, not like next week, but a year later or somewhere around the lines, on a special occasion, I'll decide, hey, we still have 5 more of these available. We're going to make them available again to maybe to specific people, or maybe just for another limited amount of time. If you want them, now's your chance to get them. You might not see them again after this or whatever. And that's what I meant. I think you guys understand what I'm saying. I'm not talking crack here, am I? Limited edition underwear, only worn for a week, signed and numbered for authenticity. I should do that. That'd be awesome. I'm retiring some underwear. Who wants it? To keep costs and storage down, I just price them the same as mass product and just print each one when an order comes in. Absolutely. No, that I agree with. I would not be pre-printing. I'm not going to do a 25 print if they're not sold. No. I will print them as they get ordered, but I will only print up to 25 of one specific one. At least to start, maybe after building audience, maybe I do limited edition. The only thing I would do is if I decided to do something along the lines of selling locally, you know, whether it's to friends and family, a gathering, an event, something that I know is happening, and I'll be like, hey, do you mind putting some of these up? Then I would probably print out, like, you know, just a handful. Like maybe I'll print three of the ones that are on part of the edition, and then I'll number those, and that will be that segment. And if they don't sell, hey, it's only 3 of them. I can store them somewhere. So that's what I'm talking about. Yes. At least to start them, maybe after building audience, maybe I'll do limited editions. Yeah. So there's also going to be the numbered limited, and then there'll be the other ones that are just like always available, or available digitally, or giving away digitals, things like that. Meals made by Nordwolf, numbered and signed. That might not work. You wouldn't be allowed to eat it. That'd kill the value. Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I will not get into or never get involved in is NFTs. That's just something I think that's just a scary, weird thing. It just doesn't make any sense. I like things to be tangible. I like physical stuff. I'd like to be able to, unless it's a freaking video game and I'm buying like an asset in the game, that's different. But what I'm talking about, when you spend money on something that you're going to display, I don't know. I want a physical item. I'm not big on NFTs, is what I'm saying. I've never been into them. I never would even consider buying one. I'm not saying it's a scam. I'm just not into that. There are people that do scams on NFTs, though. That I have heard about. Actually, just recently, last week, my wife's aunt moved down here, and when going through all her stuff, we found Disney figurines still in their blister packs from the 60s and 70s. Holy crap, man. That must be worth some money. Save them. I mean, did you do any looking up? Check it out. Here's 1930s. Hold on. 1939. 1950 ceramic Tinkerbell with net wings. Somebody's selling. This is eBay, by the way. It's $92. There is a price guide somewhere. 1959 Disney Sleeping Beauty, Prince Charming Riding Horse by Mark's Toy. This is the toys. $170. Some of these are toys, though. You might want to find the figurine ones. 1930s, Dan. 1940s. There's definitely a market somewhere for this stuff. That's crazy. This piece here, I have this. I've had this for shit, it's been almost 30 years. It used to be worth like $700 when I first got it. It was given to me as a gift. It's called Hideaway. And I look it up now and it's like somebody's offering $99 or best offer. And mine's actually numbered and signed also. This was actually a gift for a store that I used to work at. It was a framing store that I worked at. This was a long time ago. And it was like a part-time store. I don't know. I just worked there for fun. I was having fun. But anyways, I worked this at the store and they decided to close down. They were going out of business and the place had been there forever. And when they went out of business, they told their employees, you can pick one item out from the left art, because people leave art there like crazy. So you can pick one item out and that's basically your severance pay or whatever. And I picked this guy and this is what I got. And I still have it to this day. And it's beautiful. But again, it's amazing to see it for $99.95. I know it's worth a lot more than that, but like I said, they have it's weird. I mean, there's so many of them, I guess, but this is a numbered one too. Very odd. $99. Damn. I'm glad I didn't pay any money for that. Actually, just recently, I haven't had a chance yet. Still waiting on the movers to arrive. She moved to New York City to the Carolinas, but the moving truck had to go to Florida first. They went to the retirement home first. That's crazy. All right. Well, I appreciate the input on the limited run and all that. I have to research my competitors. I don't compete with anybody. No. I don't know. I'm still trying to put this thing together. So it's just stuff in my head. Pricing wise, I think for me, pricing has always been an issue. The reason why, I think it's because I don't want to undervalue something to make it like I'm just giving it away. I want to have value, but I don't want to overvalue it and be like, oh, I am worth this much. No, I don't. I'm not like that. I want it to be at a low cost, at a cost that is comfortable for anyone. Because I really believe this. I think art, regardless of what it is, whether it's a photograph, whether it's digital art, or whether it's a painting, whatever it is, I think everyone should be able to enjoy art and be able to collect a piece, whether it's a piece you see at a mall or an art gallery or a freaking arts and craft weekend thing, whatever it is, even online. I think if you see something you really like, it should be within your reach to be able to afford it and be able to have it without it breaking the bank. And I think it's true. But at the same time, for people that do this for a living, that are busting their ass all day long to come up with creative stuff and to create items to sell to make a living, and they're passionate about their work, I also believe that they shouldn't undercut themselves, because their time is valuable and their art is valuable, and it takes time to put those things together. And even if it's somebody that's just drawing a little cartoon, the time and money that it takes to take in that little cartoon and getting it printed, getting a mat for it, whatever, bubbling it up and sending it to, but that all takes time too, and that all costs money. So they should be compensated for their time. I have a limited run myself. About 50 feet is about as far as I'll go. That's a lot longer than my limited run. Mine is like 20. Pricing has always been hard for me with my art. My limit run gets better if I've been chased. My limited run gets better if I eat Taco Bell. Just saying. I get there a lot faster too. Yeah, pricing is tough. I think pricing is hard for a lot of people. I think people that don't have a problem with price or are able to price their things without problems is one of two things. Number one, experience. They've done it for a long time and they know what works in the market and where the sweet spot is. Or two, they're arrogant and think that they're whatever. I get paid what I get paid. This is what it is. And sometimes that second part doesn't really sell a lot. People that are like, no, it's worth $500. That's what I'm taking. I'm just throwing out a number. That's all it's worth. I'm never going to lower the price. Nah. I'll be honest with you. Recently, a separate subject, kind of the same print on demand shop that I had to make these puzzles. Did I ever show them to you? I think I did. Okay, so is there a puzzle section? There's a puzzle section here, right? Yeah, there is. There's 9 of them. Okay. I made these puzzles a while back, and I put them up, and I think I sold 2 of them in the time that I put them up. I can't remember which one. I think one of them was this angel here, and then I can't remember what the other one was, but I think there was 2 that sold. I'm pretty sure. So recently, I was looking at them, and first of all, let me explain what they are. It's 1,000 piece, 500 piece, and a 250 piece. I think it's like 200 something, whatever it is. They come in a metal collector's box. In other words, in a nice metal tin box. So it's not like a cardboard. So that makes it a little bit more expensive. And when I made this series, it's like kind of stained glass design. And it was pretty pricey. Even just the cost of them was pricey. So I try to make it, I'm like, all right, well, I have to make some money on it. And I had to look at what I was going to make. And so I was realizing that the prices for these were pretty high. And a couple of days ago, I was looking at them and I'm like, yeah, I don't like the pricing on this. I think it's too high. It's just not right. So I lowered the cost of them. And in fact, obviously the 1,000 one is not $24.99. The $24.99 is for the small one, for the 250 piece. But I lowered the prices down significantly, and immediately the next day, this wolf one up here sold. And it was like, I was like, whoa, okay. So that made a difference just by making a price change, because I realized that they were overpriced. Well, for me, I felt they were overpriced. I went ahead and changed that, and it was better. Now it's the same thing with I think with the desk mats, which I'm working on desk mats. Now my desk mats were underpriced, and I've sold a couple of these too. And I noticed that they were underpriced, and I need to put a lot more. I haven't put a lot, but there's a reason why, and I want to ask you guys this question too, get us talking about this. But so I noticed that they were underpriced, and so I went ahead and raised the price a little bit. Will they sell? Who knows? But they're more in line with what others are charging for this size. The price that I had them at was for the price of a smaller desk mat. And so I was like, ooh, yeah, I'm kind of biting myself in the ass there. So I noticed that. The same thing with the aprons. I had these aprons, and I noticed that the pricing was a little bit too high. I didn't like it. I thought it was, even if I made a little bit of money on it, that's all I cared about, because I just wanted to sell them because I thought they were cool. So immediately when I dropped the price, sure enough, the Muscle Man apron sold. Somebody bought that one. I don't know. That was a couple of days ago too. That was last week. So it is. I think these still continue to sell. And in fact, I'm going to be putting up my other Christmas ones again soon, my dog ones. And they've been continuing to sell. For some reason, people like these freaking ornaments. But anyway, so that's what I've noticed. So sometimes you have to adjust your pricing, because it doesn't make sense to be like way too much and then nobody's going to buy it. And I don't believe in the whole thing of like price it high and then lower it down and all that. No, it's just put it at what it's supposed to be. And if you want to just give a discount later on too. It's always been kind of that question mark for me. There was something I was going to ask you. I completely forgot what it was now. Oh, here it is. Here's the other thing. Now this changes based on what you're selling. But if you're selling artwork, do you think that you should keep it to a smaller amount of choices? Like, because for me, this is the way I'm thinking. And I recently went through my I have an old print shop that I use for digital, and I removed a bunch of pieces just because I thought they were too redundant. I don't know if I show you this. This is the digital one. Oh, let me bring this up. I like bringing this up when I can, because I'm talking about it, so I don't want it to be like just making stuff up in my head. Okay, so let's talk. Like, I'll show this as this is an example because this was recently. This was probably the most recent collection. So if you looked at the store last week, you would have noticed there was like, right now there's only 9. There was probably 28 or 20 something different images up here of this style. And I realized that I'm like, it's way too many. And some of them were similar. If they weren't the same, but they were similar. And I'm like, I don't like that. So I went through and I narrowed it down to 9 different images that I really liked. And I skimmed down. I got rid of the rest. These are just digital, by the way. These are just digital files. And so it's the same thing with the vintage landscapes. Like, this was the very first things I put up. Now, there's only 8 of them up here now. And originally, there was like 20. There was a bunch. But again, I felt that even though there were different colors, even though the composition was different, they looked very similar. So I said, no, I don't want this. There's way too many people, like you're looking at one and then looking at the other and they look very similar. And you're thinking to yourself, I can't make a decision, or they all look the same. And so you end up not getting any. Now so that was stupid on my part to have that many. So I ended up getting rid of them again. And I went from 20 something down to 4 of this one and 4 of this one, of the ones that I chose and the ones that are best viewed, the ones that I chose and others chose that said, yeah, I like these better. And so that's kind of what I'm doing. So doing limited amount is also a good idea. One other thing and by the way, this shop is going to be changing soon. This is just recent right now. There's one other thing. There were 3 others here, and I got rid of them because I didn't like them. This is the other thing. If I'm not 100% comfortable with them, then I don't want to put them up. And I remember putting up 3 of them up here that I liked, but I was maybe 95% on board with them. And so I got rid of those. This cello one here, the majority of the sales have been this one. For whatever reason, people like this cello girl. Yeah. I think I sold this one. This one sold a few times. This one sold a couple of times, and then I think the one of these landscape ones was selling also. I can't remember which one, but anyhow, that was interesting. So I've been just testing the waters and understanding. Have you considered using a variety of thumbnail mock-ups? Seeing so many images on the same mock-up might always make them look more similar than they really are. Yes, I am considering that. I'm going to be changing that up. The reason that was my original run and understanding what it was I was trying to do. But yeah, I agree with that. I was trying to also keep it uniform because of actually, hold on a second. Yeah, I can't remember. No, actually, if you look at the additional pictures inside, I know the original initial mock-up is the same. And the reason I did that because I wanted to keep it to where it wasn't busy with a lot of other stuff in the image. I mean, I could change the background to a different color, stuff like that, but kind of I wanted to keep it simple. But if you look at all the mock-ups inside, like the additional views, they were of different rooms. And I think some of them I put the same ones, others I did not, so I switched it up a bit. But yeah, I definitely have a variety of different thumbnails. I just have to put them together. But yes, that's something that takes so much time, and I have to like schedule time to just do the mock-ups. But I think once I select, I don't want to keep making new mock-ups all the time, so I just want to come up with like 20 of them and just reuse them. But it's hard because you gotta always keep it fresh. As long as they're different colors, I think that's what matters. Anyhow, I didn't mean to get this into be a print on demand conversation or anything, but I was just curious about that. I like getting your take on, listen to you guys, what you guys think about all this stuff. And I know a couple of you are artists out there, real artists, not fake like me. You can assign one of the other images at the mock-up though. Yes, no, I agree, but I wanted to do the full. I know maybe it was wrong to do, but yes, I specifically chose that one to be the initial because I wanted it to be that way. I wanted it to be uniform when you looked at it on the site. I didn't want it to look like a bunch of different things. You know what I mean? I wanted it to look the same on all of them. That's kind of, yeah, that was my bad. I didn't want the thumbnail to be different. I wanted the thumbnails to be standard. But yeah, I can see what you're saying. But that's why I didn't want to put, I also don't want to put a lot of the same similar style. If it's a woman in the mountains or in the view, whatever, it's only going to be a couple of them. If it's about horses, there's only be a couple of them. Whatever it is. But it's going to be different enough where they'll be different regardless of the background being the same. And that's also why I separate the collections into whatever style it is. The only limitation is that like on Etsy, and I really am thinking of, I really want to just have a website that has all this stuff already, like have a Shopify account. I know I'm not there yet. I know I'm trying to move too fast, but it's just something that I really want to try to get away from Etsy and just start from scratch. But with Etsy, I forgot what I was saying. They only give you 20 categories. So I can only have 20 different collections at a time. Yeah, for users, too many choices can lead to indecision for sure. And that's kind of the reason why. Now, it could have multiple collections, but I'll give you an example, like someone here. Was this the guy? I think this is the guy. Okay, this is a no-no. I'm going to try not to show I'm not going to show their name just because I don't want to. I don't know if their name will come up, but they probably will. Okay. I'll tell you what. Can I keep it? I'll keep it small. Can I keep it small? No, I'll have to do it this way. That's all right. We're not talking bad about them, but this is one of the things I want to avoid. Let's see. Let's go to show and tell. Okay. This is what I want to avoid. So if I look at, let's say, Celestial. Okay, maybe not Celestial. Let me look for one that was. I'm trying to find the one. Okay, I guess it's prints and cards. I'm going to scroll down to the ones that I was looking at. Was this the guy? Maybe this wasn't the guy. No, this wasn't the person. Damn. No, this isn't the person. Let me see if I can find them. Give me 1 second. There was one that I was looking at. And if I can find it. Is this it? The color flow? There's a lot of similar items. And this is what got me looking at it. I don't think this is the one. No, that's not it. Damn it, man. I thought I saved it. I've been looking at so many different prints that I completely forgot which is which. Was it this guy? Let's see. I could spend all day looking at prints, man. It's like they're all so cool. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find it. Okay, I can't find it. I'm sorry. I'll have to find it later. But anyways, the reason why I was looking at it, I wanted to show you was when I looked at what they had on their Etsy shop, and I went through all their prints. There was images that were almost identical, and like 4 of them of the same thing, 4 or 5, and they were honestly almost identical to the point that it was like, wait, is this the same one as this one? Because that's how similar they were. And it happened with a lot of the images that they had up. So when looking through this, as you're scrolling through, you kept seeing the same images over and over. That's where I realized, even though their things were definitely almost the same, I mean, almost exactly the same. Like there was one about a cloud. It was a cloud with a black sky. That's it. That's all it was. It was this same freaking cloud of the black sky on like 4 or 5 different other images. And the only difference was the cloud may have been a little bit different. They maybe had a little bit more blue on this one. But other than that, it was exactly the same. And I was like, wow, this looks like identical. And that's what I didn't want. And just the idea, and that's far over on that side. But I don't even want images to be remotely similar to the point where it's like, oh, this is just a different shade of this one. That's what I don't want. That's what I was saying. There's evidence that supports 3 to 5 choices being the most you'll want to present users with. Okay, so 3 to 5 choices per section? Or you're saying 3 to 5 choices on the store, period? Because I think when you tell someone you should only have 3 to 5 choices, there are people that are starting out. I'm not one of those, but there's people that are just starting out. Well, they'll think that you mean 3 to 5 items only on the store, period. And I don't think that's what you mean. I think you mean 3 to 5 choices in a specific section, right? I think that's what you mean. There's others who supports that. Hicks law, that the time it takes to make decisions increases the number and complexity of choices. I'd say per collection within each section. Yeah, correct. And that I agree with. Because one of the other things with that is that you have to have some type of variety. There's somebody that sells see if I can find them. There's somebody that sells desk mats, and they sell a couple other things, but one of the things they sell is desk mats a lot, and they have a variety of desk mats and different styles. And even though they have, like, I don't know, at least 50, if not more, I think they have a lot more. They have a lot of desk mats, and they just have different styles, so that way people can choose. And not all the styles are the same, obviously. So that's fine too. But I would say, yeah, you're right. I would say within each, per collection, within each section. Yes. Like, I don't mind doing a collection. Like, let's say I do a boat collection or something. All right. There would be 3, images of pirate ships. So there'd be like a set of 3 or 4 of that, as long as they're different. And that would be that. Then I'd move on and say, like I said, I'm just making up stuff. Horses. So I would do 4 images of horses. And then move on next set, and so forth. So I would keep it to like a minimum like that. That makes sense. Anyways, thanks for our chat. I appreciate this. It's good information for anybody, I think. And it's also good information for me to push you towards when I do launch this thing that maybe you guys would be interested. Maybe, you know what? How about this? For anybody watching this now, when I do launch this, the only thing I expect from you is to sign up for the newsletter. That's it. That's what I expect. That's the only thing I ask for. Anything beyond that is up to you. But if you could at least sign up for the newsletter, That's what I want. That would, and then obviously follow the page or whatever it is. That's the only, that will help me out. That will make me feel like I'm headed in a direction. And the same thing, showing it to your friends and saying, hey, follow this. I checked this thing out. I like it. It's pretty cool. You don't have to tell them you know me. You don't have to be embarrassed. But you just say, hey, you give him a follow. He's pretty good. Or sign up for this newsletter. It's pretty good. It's probably has a giveaway. It's probably giving discounts. You never know. The boat section, 3 to 5 pirates, 3 to 5 fishing, 3 to 5 sailing, etc. Correct. I like that. Yeah, exactly. Like rustic landscapes. And then I have, women or boats or castles or whatever. It's rustic is the genre or the collection. Gotcha. So anyhow, that's all I ask. So we will see what happens. Anyways, it's about that time, I think. Yep, it is. It's almost 2 hours. I think I should go and get my day started. Got some things to take care of. Got some things to start. We are not playing games today, unfortunately. I'm just not. It's Monday. I got a lot to do, and I'm just trying to ease into this day. And we will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll play some games. By the way, I really did like Humanists. So I might play that tomorrow. And I'm still playing Elden Ring offline. So if I come across a boss that I'm about to fight, I'm going to go ahead and record it. And then I'll throw it up. I recorded the last one that I threw up with the dancing lion. But I didn't have my mic on. I didn't have my camera on. So if I do it this time, I will make sure I have my mic and my camera on, because at least I can narrate as I'm doing it and doing the no, not ready, what I'm known for. But either way, I'll do that. I'll still throw those videos up. So I hope you guys have a great day. I don't know what you got planned for you, but I hope it's something that's going to be amazing. And if you're not feeling well, I hope you feel better. I know some of you are under the weather or just not feeling good. So until next time, which will be tomorrow, I will see you then. Take care of yourself. Have a great time. You know where to find me. And as always, I appreciate you guys watching this, giving a thumbs up when you get a chance, and leaving a comment if you'd like. I love comments. And for those of you that know me and want to reach out to me, you know where I'm going to be. I'll be able to be on my social media, or I'll be on my Discord, which is always open by my other screen here. So until next time, take care of yourself. I'm out. Peace.